Bella's Farm Life, and today I'm going to be getting Chocolates ready for his lesson. So he has a 30-minute lesson today with a little kid, so he's just doing really a pony ride. But obviously I groom them and everything before the lesson, get them tacked up, bring them out, and then we ride a little bit. And then after that, we, me and my lesson student come down and groom him again. And then we untack him, groom him again, give him some treats, and then he goes back in his stall for the night. So that's what Chocolate's doing today. Bonnie was already ridden today, but normally Bonnie is my pony ride horse. Today she's not. So I'm currently just getting Chocolate ready. They're both really good for the pony ride type of lessons. So that's what we're doing. Chocolate is loving his butt being rubbed right now. He's making faces up there. I don't know if you can see it, but he loves it. So he's like a little bit of sweat on him just from being outside, some mud. So I'm making sure I scrub that all off of him. Grooming is, unpopular opinion for some, the most important part of riding. So curry combs really get horses like, you know, itched and stretched out, because I think it really does feel nice on them. Like as I'm going, his lip is kind of twitching and things. So he really likes it. He especially likes, I'll show you guys where he loves to be rubbed. So I'll put you guys here for a second. Here's Chocolate. If you go back here under his neck and curry it, he loves it. He absolutely loves it. That is Chocolate's favorite thing of all time. So I'm gonna finish currying him, and then I'll get back to you guys when I switch to the next brush. An important side note is getting under their stomach is gonna be your biggest thing. A lot of people leave that area out and just do the visible dirt that you can see when you pull them out of the stall, but you have to go under their stomach so the girth doesn't rub in things. So I always brush and curry and all that under his stomach as well. I switched over to a hard brush, and now we're gonna brush him down with the hard brush. So I just kind of flick all the hair off of there. There's some spots up here that I didn't get, so I'll get that. Get up here. Make them look all smooth and nice. And then again, remember guys, under the belly. So I'll show you guys what I mean by that. So when you come up under here, this is where all like mud and things get kicked up. So I don't know if you can see, but like up here, you have some like dirtiness. So I just brush that all down and off so it's completely gone, because obviously if the girth is there, it's gonna rub. So make sure you brush that area. Now I'm gonna do his neck, which again, as we talked about, he loves his neck being brushed. So now that that's done, we're gonna switch to a soft brush. Here's my like medium soft brush here. And I do this for like dust and things. Again, every brush goes under his stomach. So flip under here, over here. And Chocolate's naturally shiny, so once you get him brushed up, he really shines nice. He has the fan on him right now, so he's enjoying life. So I had this absolutely amazing spray bottle, and all the shine spray in here emptied. So I washed it out, cleaned it out, put some mane and tail detangler in here, mixed it with a little bit of water. I just shake it up before I use it, and now I can use this as the mane and tail detangler. I love this like sprayer. All you have to do is hit it 3 times and it will do a consistent spray. Once does a light spray, but 3 times does a nice consistent spray. So after I spray it, I take my mane and tail brush, obviously, and I just brush through gently, getting all the knots out and things. I do for all my lessons just a full-on groom, just to make them comfortable, and it relaxes them and things before the lesson. So even the kids that have an hour lesson are entitled to groom like this. So everybody has to groom the way I'm grooming right now. If it's a younger kid, they just get help from me with the grooming, but for this, I'm giving him the full-on grooming. I go up here, I don't spray up here, I just brush up here. I don't want to spray too close to his face. He's getting mad at me. He doesn't want me to mess with his head, but he'll have to get over it. Next, I have to do his tail, so I'll show you guys that. Chocolate has this like beautiful long tail, but it's always very knotty. So I spray right from like the base of his tail here all the way down to like the tip of his tail. And then you can kind of get in the layers of his tail a little bit. And then that's it. Now again, mane and tail brush. And you'll see how it kind of just breaks up the tangles in there. So just like this. And it should break up all those tangles. There we go. There we go. And there we go. Perfect. So now he's pretty much all set and ready, besides I have to pick his feet and then he'll be done and ready to get tacked up. So there's his tail. So now it's time to pick his feet. He picks up his feet pretty nicely. Oh, he needs to get his balance. Come on. Good boy. This side. Come on. That one was pretty clean. Now let's do the back feet. But I place his back foot up here. Pick it out. Brush it out good. Set it. Pick it out. Brush it out. Set it. Good boy. Now, last step before putting the saddle on is going to be fly spray, which I almost forgot about. So I had to put my fly spray in this like Fungaway bottle that was empty. I cleaned it out, put the fly spray in it because during one of my last videos, my fly spray bottle actually broke. So we have that for now until I can find a new one or go buy a new one, but I just don't have the time right now. So that'll do just until I can go get a new one. Chocolate's fine with the new fly spray bottle, right? Yeah. Chocolate wants a treat. I can see it on his face. Do you want a treat, Chocolate? Definitely. My Apple Watch isn't a treat. That'd be pretty nice if it was, though, wouldn't it be? That's you. Chocolate, that's you. Oh my gosh, he's so cute. Okay, now time for the saddle pad and the saddle. Okay, so the saddle is on. Now we got to do the girth. Tighten up the stirrups for the young ones. I do have a pair of something I call buddy stirrups, which are for the really little kids. They're basically like tiny little stirrups you can put on the horn, and it just goes on the horn, and they drape down to like right about here when you have really littles. But for now, no need for it. So this is my famous lesson saddle here. I'm going to be getting a new one, but this was the saddle that I started riding in, and the fenders are cut off of it because we added extra holes and things to it. But it's comfortable. I even sometimes when I have to get on one of the horses because of whatever, to demonstrate something with the kids there, instead of switching saddles, I can actually ride this in this one because the stirrups go long enough for me to be able to ride in it. So, gonna, get his girth up. I normally don't do it all the way, obviously, until I get up to the ring, so I just kind of do a nice little loose 3 times around for Chocolate, or 2, however, whatever you want to consider it. And then I just kind of go a little bit where I can still slip my hand in there, so if anyone wants to sit on the saddle, it would probably flip over. So I make sure it's nice and loose so they don't pass out or hold their breath or anything on the cross ties, because I have one horse that does that. So all the kids are taught to remember to tighten the girth. I always remember, but I teach them to remember. So sometimes they will remind me and be like, hey, we have to tighten the girth. And sometimes they won't. And if they don't remind me, I just say there's something we're missing or whatever it might be. And yeah, then they'll be like, oh, the girth, or they have no clue. So if they have no clue, I'll give them a few hints. If not, obviously I don't let them get on without a tightened girth. So just wait there until they are able to answer that, because it's very important to remember to tighten your girth. Otherwise your saddle will flip under the belly if something was to happen or whatever. So especially when I'm dealing with kids, unevenly distributed weight on one side would tip the saddle over if the girth's not tight enough. So there are a few ways I remember to do that, to tighten the girth. One would be, I do not connect the reins to the bridle sometimes until the girth is tightened. So obviously a kid can't get on if there's no reins, and obviously my reins are normally blue or colorful or whatever it might be. So with that being said, they cannot get on without reins, which means the reins aren't on, it didn't do the girth. Kind of a good way to remember it. So that's kind of what I do. With my younger kids, another thing I do also is, one second, kind of a controversial topic, but my reins for my younger kids are only hooked to the halter. They're only hooked to the halter. So that way they cannot be pulled on or anything like that. So with that being said, that when the kids do decide to pull on their face or anything, it's not going to do any damage to my horse. I have a small scaled lesson program. My lessons are on my personal performance horses. Chocolate is a reining horse, professionally trained reining horse. He competed in the reining, did very well. He's a professional reining horse, as I would say. He is. The people that owned him take all their horses to Congress and things. They own a lot of well-known reining horses. So I do not want his mouth pulled on or him to be beat on or anything like that by a little kid that doesn't know any better, so it's not their fault. So before anything, I teach them with just the halter, because I keep the lead line on my horse. And then once they're good, they're able to graduate into a bridle. So they start with the halter and the halter only. So I have to speed this up a little bit. Crafty's a show jumper. Again, I don't want his face being whammed on or anything. Again, personal performance competition horses. Don't need that happening. So again, sometimes they don't get a bridle. They just get the reins, and I hook them up to the halter and we guide them around for a while. A lot of little kids kind of like to do the whole giddy up thing, and they're welcome to do that if they do not have the bridle on. So before I can correct the behavior, normally it's already done, and then you correct it after they already did it. So without having the reins there, the bridle there, they can't ruin my horse before, anything. And I don't mean that in a mean way by ruin my horse, but their mouths are sensitive, right? And I don't need them to be scared of the bit or scared of people riding them or think they're gonna get hurt anytime somebody gets on them. So it's very easy to do. They're young kids, they don't know any better. So I just try to kind of leave it like this for now until they graduate up to the bridle. So some people do that, some people don't. Some people agree with it, some people don't. It's what I do. It's what I will always do, just for what's in the best interest of my horses and what's safe for the kid. My main goal all the time is keep the kids safe. I'd rather have the kids safe than anything. So obviously if you have a horse sensitive in the mouth and they go and pull, you never know what could happen. My horses aren't sensitive in the mouth, so they won't do anything, but it's good to teach them not to pull in case they ever get on a strange horse. So yeah, we're walking out now to check to see if they're here. So I'll get back to you guys later, maybe. This is kind of supposed to be the end of the video, so bye guys. I'm now sitting in front of the fan, waiting for them to get here. It's kind of hot out. It's pretty gross out today. It's supposed to be 77, but it feels way hotter than that, so. Ooh, hopefully it will be good. For these pony ride lessons, it's perfectly fine for the horses. If it's any hotter than this though, they won't do much. It's also hot because I'm walking around and running around, so yeah, we'll see how this goes. Hopefully everything works out and everybody gets here on time and everything. 4:15 is when they're supposed to be here. It's 4:14 right now. So they could be pulling in any second. So let's say if somebody pulls in the next few seconds, hopefully, fingers crossed. The breeze, there's a breeze coming on now. I don't know if you guys can hear that. They're here. So I'm gonna go.